Pop out chat here. I discovered something really weird that I can type with two keyboards at the same time.
Interesting.
Because I have a keyboard on the left side of my tablet for Photoshop, and then I have my regular keyboard on the right side. And I was trying to write something really aggressively, and I just got upset, and I just like put one hand on each keyboard, and I was like, I can't believe this works. This is amazing. So, hello. Okay. Let's do that. Move that. Excuse me. Everything's all weird. Got a video out yesterday, which is good. I guess it was this morning. This is another little short. Oh, I didn't even do the intro scene today, so whatever. Welcome in, everybody. This is very yellow. I don't know if I'm digging this yellow.
It is a little bit.
We also have index card yellow. That's more yellow. That's not what I want. Fiber blue. That's terrible. Felt and sandstone. Felt and sandstone. God, these are all terrible.
It's also like not covering the entirety of the canvas.
I can fix that. Felt and flax. That's not bad. We do that one. There you go.
That works.
Okay. Whoops. What did I just do? I want my brush. Ooh. Now everything's getting weird on me. Oh my gosh. We'll figure this out. It does look like felt. It does look like gross felt.
Yeah, it does. I've had paper like this before. It wasn't great for drawing on, but it was good for writing poetry on.
All right, that's fair. I kind of hate the felt, so maybe we'll try one more. Natural linen? Hey, that's good. I like that. I used to draw on paper like this all the time. All right. Welcome in, everybody. Sounds about right. Yeah, getting killed by doors. It's a pretty common D&D thing. I was playing Baldur's Gate this morning with Lars and walked into a barn with a bugbear and a ogre. That was weird. So yeah, doors are dangerous. How is everybody doing today? Hope you're doing all right. We had a good week. Try to see if I can get a rugby sketched in here today. I have a bunch of pencil drawings I want to add to the Discord that I haven't yet. Probably do that this afternoon. I hope I'm talking loud enough. Microphone might get. Let's try that. Is that better? Blah 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 blah. That's the wrong way. We're gonna go this way. There we go. Talk. We'll try that. If that's too loud or quiet, let me know. Where is that? Doing clicks. Click. Okay. Holding that one while entering a blacksmith shop. Apparently didn't see it coming. The blacksmith? What dangers are in a blacksmith shop?
drunk dwarves wielding big hammers.
I suppose so. William Turner. Pirates of the Caribbean. Oh, yep, there we go. The Smith just stabbed you. Okay.
That seems like poor business practice.
Well, he was a mind flayer, I bet. I'd stab a mind flayer if they walked into my house. And the more I play Baldur's Gate, like, more I realize just how kind of shitty the mind flayers are in general. Not like bad. They're super powerful, but like they are just a force of death. So it's not surprising that people just always want to kill you. Oh, you got a mind flayer bug in your head, huh? Well, let's just kill you right now.
Too late to save you. Yeah. Not too late to save me.
It's like part zombie, but hyper zombies. Well, first you're going to turn into a giant monster, and then you're going to try to eat my brain. And then you're going to turn me into a monster. I'm going to eat people's brains. Nobody wants that. How else would you test the aerodynamic tendencies of a sword? That's true. You got to throw it at something. Make sure it's sharp. Oh my god, those are adorable. You need to draw more capybaras. Maybe instead of drawing otters today, we'll do the super chat capybaras. You heard it here first. Super chats get capybaras. There we go. Start out by putting one on Rugby's head. I hit a capybara in the YouTube short.
You did. I've noticed it, and it made me happy.
They really are just a weird creature.
Oh yeah.
What if rat, but also chunky? They get real big too, which is terrifying.
Except that they're also as friendly as quokkas, and everything that doesn't eat them likes to hang out with them.
He had a target painted on his back of the door? Business was slow on his board, so I clearly showed up at the wrong time. Gotcha. That's dangerous. Don't use doors as dartboards, people.
Yeah.
We call a real stupid. Capybara and crackers. Quackers. And ducks. Just put a duck on top. This feels a little mimicky, but it's fine. A little duck up here.
Yes. John Miller, I see that you also watch Z Frank's Creepy Dave shorts.
Oh no, okay. I apparently need to watch these.
I'm just gonna pull it up for you. The capybara video is my favorite.
I went ahead and bought all the stickers yesterday, the otter stickers. Those will be here in 2 weeks. I need to sell about 20 of them to pay them off. So I might have sticker packs ready. 20 packs, so it's more. It's a lot of stickers. Crappy bar. All right. From the last stream, requested the Illithid Bard. Wanted to say because I fell asleep and didn't see it. You did an awesome job. Thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, we drew a lot of it, so it was either me or Druid. I'm not sure which one it was, but
If it was the Illithid, that was me.
Okay.
I think
I drew one with a flute.
Yeah, I drew an undead Illithid, with Illithid wizard with horns, and it had a void sphere between the horns. Specifically, was the prompt. That's very much what I tried to do. It helped that me googling the undead Illithid came up with some really cool art. Yeah. So I was inspired.
Alhoons or something.
Yeah, something like I don't remember exactly, but anyway.
Let's forget
yeah, that drawing was I was carried on the backs of better artists.
Goblin legs. Okay. I'm getting some audio feedback. That's weird. Drew, talk a little bit.
Talkie? I draw too much today, but I still feel good.
If I talk, do you guys hear? Oh, that's a little weird. I might just have the speaker up too high. Hold on. Looks like we'll try that. That might make me a little quieter, but hopefully the fan noise won't be as loud. Solve the chemistry puzzle. That's interesting. I'm always on the lookout for good puzzles for D&D. Always worried about making a puzzle just like roll the thing that you do.
Yeah.
And just solving the problem. It's like I want the players to be part of the solution. They can use their roles to like get hints and stuff, but it's always hard. It's always more of a struggle than I think it'll be.
I learned that at my table, including when I play, nobody at my table is good with riddles. So if there's a riddle lock, I have to intentionally plan to basically that nobody's going to know, like, nobody's going to be able to figure out the riddle unless they know the riddle beforehand. So I either have to pick a fairly common, like, historical riddle that they've got a chance of knowing, or I gotta rely entirely on their rolls and for them to be able to solve it.
That's interesting. There is definitely with riddles, there's the type of riddle that just you can really only know it if you know it, which I think are less fun than things that you can solve. I like drawing puzzles and actual physical puzzles that you can give people. Feedback is about 4 seconds ahead of your lead audio. I don't know what that sounds like. Let me check YouTube real quick because I don't know how that would work. Application audio. There's no application. Bounce over to YouTube and see what's up. Test. Well, bep. Do you happen to have me open in 2 tabs? Yeah, because I'm not getting anything.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm listening to the YouTube audio now, and I'm not hearing.
Bloop, 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 bloop. Yeah, I don't know where that'd be coming from.
No.
Am I open
Whatever
in
it is,
Discord?
it's on your end.
Yeah, am I open in Discord and on YouTube? I've done that before. Excuse me. We are going to be doing the viewer suggestion today, just as a heads up. So if you're new here or you don't know what's going on, basically we have a list of drawings suggested by the viewers through the community page or just submitted on Wednesday during the live stream. So if okay, it was Scott. I have absolutely done that before. If you have submitted one already this week, we still got it. You're good. If you've not submitted one this week, you're welcome to submit one now, and we're gonna roll some dice and see what we draw. I just realized that capybaras look a little bit like Gone, the tiny dinosaur, which is also how I draw most of my everythings. Gone is a great comic. Good comic. Highly recommend. Didn't realize that the buffer's on the PS4 YouTube. Got it. Add a hippo for the final touch. He just a hippo on the top of the duck. El Chiquito wearing yellow and golden robes, express mask covering his face. The king in yellow, yeah. Did you find the book on magic? I did, yeah. I actually started reading it last night. It's a little bonkers. It's a little bit bonkers. There's a lot of the world of mysticism is always I don't want to say weird, but like the amount of it that bleeds into like pop culture without you realizing it, like where things actually come from, always kind of surprises me. So I'm still running through that book, but it's good. It's good so far. It's given me lots of fun ideas for D&D campaigns. Thank you for the suggestion.
That's good.
Let's get some dice. Let's get some dice going.
I kind of try to pull like exclusively from historical stuff, mostly because like I've seen some YouTube metaphysics channels, usually like through somebody like trying to debunk them, but they're like straight up batshit crazy, making assertions of stuff that air quotes we know, that I'm just like, excuse me, that's not a thing.
Like the thing I was reading was basically saying stuff like thaumaturgy is the oldest type of magic, and it's like that's interesting that that's a thing. Random comment: never go to Dairy Queen. Fair, WJ. I'll remember that. I don't plan to go to Texas ever, but yeah.
Did what you were reading like give a specific definition of thaumaturgy?
Yeah, it did, but I don't want to get into that. But it's just like so thaumaturgy as a function of like D&D is apparently one of the oldest forms of traditional occultism. Like, so when you're saying historical, it is historical. It's more historical than most things, which is weird. And that's kind of stuff that I was interested about.
Gotcha.
There's a lot more history to pop culture than I think are given credit for, because people pulled all of their pop culture from somewhere, and a lot of it was old school occult and religious texts. And a lot of religious texts are based off of occult readings and vice versa. So it's like there's a whole bunch of correlations between like Judaism and Catholicism, like directly related. Because I mean, yeah, like there were a bunch of kings that like passed laws about what kind of magics you could use, and it's interesting to look at that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And they were all either controlled or disproved of by the church, different churches, which I think is really
Yeah, whichever church happened to be the moral compass of the society at the time.
All right, I rolled a 6, which is going to be a half-elf fighter with magic amulet. Cut ears and a crossbow? Why cut ears? I assume not
Like,
intentional?
their ears got cut to make them look less elvish?
Those are my guesses.
If they did it themselves because, like, body modification that they thought was cool, then great. If it was done to them, then ugh.
Yeah. Gross. How does one draw half elf? That question. Could use do maybe? Let's see, maybe we could do something like this. Crossbow too, though. It's a good crossbow pose. That's not a good neck, or head placement, or body shape. Maybe I need more warm up. I might need one more warm up. He said another childhood region I was introduced to in the late 80s. Welcome in, Ragruv Orc? Ruck? I wanted to say Ravnagog, but that's not right. Gentlemen, the Book of Magic. Are you referring to the one we were talking about a few days ago? Yeah, I believe so, Brian. Anyways, I started reading last night. A male with 5 o'clock shadow and a goatee. Can half elves have goatees? These are the questions. These are the questions that interest me. Baldur's Gate takes a lot of liberties with the Dungeons and Dragons mechanics, which I very much appreciate. And some of them I think I'll implement into games. Others I will not. Like throwing potions at people, I think is really fun in Baldur's Gate. But it is very powerful. It is very powerful. That's not something I think I will be including in my games anytime soon. When do elves have facial hair? That's what I'm wondering. Like, can we do a beard on a half elf?
Well, I don't know. I don't see why not.
I mean, you can do anything, right? I guess that's the real point. You can do whatever you want. But is that the way I want to go with this character? How you doing, Brad, by the way? Hope you're doing well. Half elves can have full ZZ top ears. They're half human. Usually the elf side manifests as pointy ears. Okay. I saw a Tumblr post or a Twitter post. I think it was a Twitter post. It might have been on a YouTube short, but I still think it's funny. But it was the Twitter post was like her Reddit post. There we go. My brain's not working today. I'm sorry, but it was humans are just half elf and half dwarves, and then someone was like they already have that. They're called dwelves, and they're like, yeah, but or they said they already have that. They're called dwelves, and they take the worst part of both races, and they're like, yeah, I still think that makes sense for humans. And I was like, that's an interesting way to look at it. Of just being as hairy as a dwarf, but not having the pointy ears. Like, what else would the human be in relation to elves? I do like that elves are supposed to be like angelic, perfect creatures. That's always fun to me. But... And then I saw all the Legolas supercut from the 1970s cartoon, Lord of the Rings, and a good lord, they just didn't want to draw him, I think. Nobody cares about Legolas. I didn't say half elf. You said elf. Well, this is a half elf, so that's I'm drawing. Next question. Should I buy a crossbow?
I think yes.
Gotta sell all those stickers. Fire Otter stickers will be on sale next week. Prepare your bodies. Prepare your minds. Prepare your wallets. We're gonna sell some stickers. Then I'm gonna have to pay taxes. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. But yeah, I got those ordered yesterday, so I'm a little broke. But after that, I'm gonna buy crossbow. Maybe crossbow. Elves don't suffer the hells of Melpat or baldness.
Somebody very clearly has not watched. See, was it Dimension 20?
I have a bald elf.
Gleer is I mean, to be fair, he's an elf that breaks all the tropes, but he's just like he's the most pathetic person on the planet, or he's designed to be, and he is balding.
I like Taco from TV. That is one of my favorite elves.
Taco is pretty good.
The Flip Wizard. I forgot to tell you guys because I did it all yesterday. Lars came over, so we played some Baldur's Gate. And I made my beef wizard. It's not great. It's fun, but it's not great. I did one level in fighter, and then I put all the rest of the levels into wizard. And so I have full plate, which is great, or not full plate, but like heavy armor, which is awesome. I can still cast spells. I have shield, and essentially I cast false life on myself, and then just use all the rest of my spell slots for shielding, and sometimes a burning hands. But it's still really funny to me, even though it doesn't work. Partially because like you don't have the proficiency bonus to your attacks as high as it would be as a fighter. I think I miss everything. So I thought True Strike would help me, but it's awful in D&D. So Pallet elves are good. Wood elves, moon elves. There are a bunch of different kind of elves, so that's fair.
Why is it that I can draw plant hands but not cat hands today?
I still don't think the hands were the problem. I think the hands are fine.
I know, like there are some problems with the hands, but the big problem is the wrist and the forearms are not foreshortened correctly.
Yeah, I think that is the main issue of why you think the hands are bad, because you spent a lot of time making the hands look really good, and they stopped fitting the picture.
Yeah. So because I was drawing too zoomed in as usual.
Yep, that happens.
Anyway.
Long story short, the Stir Wizard was kind of a failed experiment. I think once I get to level 2 and I can get level 2 spells, I think I can get Enhance Ability, and then that will make me more better at the wizard fighter. But yeah, fighters with shield is amazing. I also was a tiefling, so it's like, do I use shield or do I use Hellish Rebuke? Both are good. Your mermaids have fishtails or legs? Fishtails. Yeah. Otherwise, they're not merfolk. They're just water people. What are the Undine? The Undine are...
Undine, yeah, are the in Pathfinder. That's the water genasi equivalent. The water elemental bloodline.
I give them legs.
Yeah, same. And Gilman have legs.
Gilman, that's the other one. Yep.
Yeah. I don't. Do they have Gilman in D&D?
I don't
I
think
wonder.
so.
I think that's a Pathfinder thing, because
yeah.
Pathfinder does a lot more with aboleths.
The water campaigns.
What dice am I rolling?
D20.
D20. Okay.
I think a big part of it is like with Pathfinder, you have the Gilmen, which are kind of people that have gills, versus like the Lokatha, which are fish that are kind of people.
Yeah.
So it's more that they're just like really aquatic, which I like. I like that idea, but it seems a little unnecessary to have them. I'm just gonna give this dude just nonstop.
I think yeah. I think they're like they have very specific background lore.
It does very much feel like I think Pathfinder is not scared to add a race for a campaign. They're just like, oh,
Yeah.
you know, it'd be really cool if there was a whole group of weird fish people.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
I rolled a 10, by the way.
Rat roping what they already have. Green Dragonborn Paladin. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Oh, I'm allergic to this one. Green Dragonborn Paladin of Conquest that carries a large war scythe. Oh, I was not ready for that sneeze. Whew. Oh, my head. All right. If mermaids do have fish tails, then how do they get around on land then? Watch my merfolk video. 5 feet at a time. That's what I'll say. They get around 5 feet at a time. Yeah. Oh, okay. We gotta pause. We gotta pause this half elf. We gotta draw a capybara, undead packed with a warlock voodoo outfit. Okay. I brought this upon myself.
Yes, you did.
I brought this upon myself, and I appreciate it. We gotta raise some money, people. We need lots of money, so we're gonna draw some capybaras today. If people do super chats, you can suggest a capybara. It'll jump the gun, and we'll give it a little bit of time here. Then we'll go back to the half elf. I need more capybara pictures. They have such weird noses. If you want to flavor a mermaid on land, partake a Triton? Oh, Triton. Yeah, good. Sorry, my brain can't read well today. Yeah, the Triton has some really cool stuff. You can. The cool thing about the Triton Merfolk people that I really like is they can't be encumbered or slowed beyond 5 feet because that's the rules of the game. So when they're on land, they can move 5 feet and they can wear and carry whatever they want and still move that amount, which I think is great. So yeah, they get real tough. They are real beefy. Like they're meant to survive in the deep ocean fighting giant krakens. So they're super, super tough and scary, and a little overpowered, but only because they can't walk. Like that's the big thing. Is they have no movement speed. They trade all of their movement speed for just being super, super awesome. Merfolks in wheelchairs make sense to me. Yeah, I've seen a few people do that, and I think that works out. I mean, it's a quick solution, right? If you are a merfolk and you're like, hey, I need to go over there. Like, yeah. We can get you a wheelchair. That's easy enough. Crappy Barbara. Hold on. I'm going to open this up so I can...
Many are made into crappy Barbara lemon soup.
It's just looking at only the nose. That's pretty great.
For a little bit. Oops, it's not weird monkey face. It's just second face of crappy Barbara.
Is it okay to join the voice chat? Yeah, you can join the voice chat. You're going to be muted, though, just automatically. But you're welcome to listen in on the voice chat if you like. What was this supposed to be? Pact? Okay, undead pact of warlock. Okay, You know what that means? Every time I draw an undead warlock, they've got to have like really sunken eyes. The steampunk combat wheelchair turns a mermaid into a mech pilot. Yeah, play a mermaid artificer armor wearing a mechanical mech suit. That could be pretty good. Make him do the Naga thing. Yeah, I don't want to do the Naga thing because the Naga are a little overpowered because of that. Like I like to do the Naga monstrous Naga people kind of the same way where they're getting a lot of bonuses because they're losing movement speed, but I like to also take their arms so they have the snake hands, which I think is great. So if you're going like the full-on giant snake and you want to keep your movement speed, you can't wield weapons, or if you can, it's weird. There's a lot of other ways to balance it out, but there are some cool merfolk triton spells out there. Like one of them, there's like a ring of land walking that gives you legs for like an hour. I think that's cool too, because then it's temporary. You know, you have to judge what you want to do with it.
It turns your doesn't remove your weakness, but gives you a resource to manage it.
Mm-hmm. And I used to do that for my friends that wanted to play like huge size creatures or like really or large size creatures in campaigns where they weren't sure if it would work. I'd give them a ring of like diminutive size, which is I have a video up on that too. It's basically put your character to diminutive, so like super tiny. So you can either be big or super tiny. Like there's no middle ground, and that's been a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun doing that. I like the idea of fish in battle mech fish tanks. That could be fun too. I like the fishbowl. Fish in the fishbowl mech suit. That's classic. What is a voodoo outfit? Are we talking like? I can only think of the guy from Princess and the Frog. Shadow Man. Now I can't remember what that even looks like. Is that like a striped suit? Coattails. Coattails is all I can think of. In my opinion, no need to nerf Naga movement speed. Stairs and ladders would just be a problem. Yeah, if your GM isn't a ruler, sky's the limit. I did post a YouTube short today that apparently 6 people downvoted, did not like. So that's interesting. That's the most hate I've ever gotten on a video.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah. I don't know what that's
Why?
about. I don't know. There's no comment of like, please tell me why this is bad. But I thought that was funny. Maybe people are sick of the saxoboom, or maybe it's an old dead meme. It is a kobold playing a saxophone, and maybe it's just because there wasn't actually like any content. It's just a silly meme. But I want to give this guy a top hat, so I'm gonna give him a top hat. I always want to give my warlocks with the pact, the undead pact. I want to make him more skeletal. I did draw a skeletal capybara for Lars because he wanted to make pate, but a capybara. So I had to make a token for him. Worked out pretty good. Maybe he's got a little cane with a skull on it. Yes. If you guys haven't gone and watched that YouTube short, please do so. Let me know what you think. If that's not the kind of content you prefer from my channel, please let me know. I will figure something else out. I do have a whole bunch of other videos that I'm working on right now, and that one just kind of took my fancy yesterday. Maybe make a Day of the Dead theme. We could do that. Doesn't need to be skeletal per se, but the face paint and the skull king. Yeah. We could put a little. Would it be a capybara skull or would it be a person's skull painted on his face? Capybara. He's got little bones painted on his legs. Do they have tails? I think they have little tails, right?
I think so.
Kobold with the sack sounds cool. Yeah. They got tiny tails. All right, good. Dude sees a cat, so it's over. Oh yeah. There need to be more necromancers with just like swarms of skeletal pets. Like in Pathfinder, you start with summon monster, summon animal, and you can take a skeletal summoning feature, which just turns them into skeletons. And then most people try to make them human, which is fun and flavorful. But I don't know, a whole bunch of skeletal badgers sounds pretty terrifying. I just don't see it enough. Yes. All right, I think that is good. I think that's our little necromantic capybara friend. Actually, since we're on slightly colored paper, can I shade this white? I can! Hooray. It's not really visible. We can do a darker one next week. Try that out. And then we can have different colors of shading. All right. That's that. Thank you for the tip. I do appreciate it. We'll go back to the elf now. The half-elf crossbowman. Who I wanted to make very, very pretty hair, but he kind of screwed it up. Maybe I made it too poofy. What if we go like... Let's give him a ponytail. If you were a crossbowman, what kind of hair would you have?
I'd definitely want to have it tied back, whatever it was. If you're aiming down the stock of anything, I think you don't want any possibility of hair falling either in your trigger mechanism or or in your sight.
If you have a pack of the chain, you can apply skeleton skin to your familiar. Yeah. I think it's really cool. Wait, pack of the chain? Really? That would be awesome.
Skeleton skin? Skeletons don't have skin, silly.
There's a homebrew ranger I saw. Oh, yawning. That had an undead animal companion that you grafted parts you wanted on them. You could have a wolf body, scorpion tail. That's pretty cool. It's like the Necrocraft, which I super dig. I started building a statue out of your bones. I'm still alive. Harmon Quest was really funny.
It was very funny. My name is Hawaiian Coffee. That sounds like you just made it up on the spot. Well, if you think about it, all names sound like that.
All names sound made up.
Yeah, no, she's right.
I always thought it was really funny. I learned a lot about DMing from that show, but kind of in passing, because all of the guests had to be on the show and then off the show.
Yeah.
And like Dan Harmon is a writer to begin with. Like that's just his shtick. And so you could always kind of start picking apart where the guests were going to, like they were told like, okay, this is how you leave the show. Like when we get to this point, you're gonna do X, Y, Z. These are the things you should know, and this is what you're gonna do. And like I think Aubrey Plaza just like jumped the shark and
yeah,
like,
I think
I pull out the bomb and I blow up the hidden wall. They're like, oh yeah, great, okay. It's like, what's happening?
you do that. I mean, she went off the rails from the get-go, so I think that it didn't really alter the episode for her to just be like, no, I'm gonna kamikaze this shit right now. I really liked her as a guest star.
She was fun. Also, the familiar
I would
pseudo
hate
dragon.
to have her at my table.
Pseudo dragon sprite, quasit imp, or just stat blocks. You can make your familiar look like anything. Yeah, I like that. Team Bender saying, stare at DM until they let you play as a Modron. Never gonna happen. Say Modron should rule the world, burn down every orphanage. Yep. Lawful. They're lawful creatures. Build a Beast Workshop Ranger. Beast Workshop Ranger? Okay, I got you, yeah. That could be kind of fun. Totem Warrior and Bugbear Barbarian with Viking armor. Well, now, Rakvarok, the money was for capybaras. Do you want a capybara Totem Warrior? Otherwise, I can do a real quick sketch for your Bugbear Barbarian. I think that's fair. I can do that too. I'm failing this half elf. I don't know what I've done, but it doesn't look like a half elf. I guess that's kind of the point of the ears, right? Kind of the point of the ears.
Yeah, the ears kind of sell it.
I also went a little bigger with the eyes than I normally do, and the hair. Everything about this is just weird. I might start this over. We got distracted by oh my gosh, yeah. There's nothing good about this. It's not redeemable. Hold on. I'll think about this. Let's draw this bugbear real quick. Let's bust out a bugbear. Totem Warrior Barbarian with Viking armor, bugbear. Bugbear. Big old boys. What does Viking armor look like? In my mind, it's just a belt.
I think of it as like a heavy tunic with like a leather jerkin or like some other hide armor on top.
Yeah. Do that though. Do a big old tunic. What if Sabretooth had Chainmail? I always got to be careful not to make my bugbears look like cat people. But like they are goblins, which are kind of cat people. Most Vikings wore scale mail or chainmail. Okay, yeah, we can do that then. So I'm gonna do a big old belt because that's what I do. And then if we're gonna make him a totem warrior barbarian, or are they like a bugbear totem? That could be interesting. I'm not sure. Should we do a bear totem? What are your thoughts on the Arizona water crisis? I didn't know there was an Arizona water crisis. Are you talking about like the river thing? Yeah, I don't know if I'm qualified to talk about that. I don't know enough about it. Nor do I live in a location where I'm an active participant that I know of.
And if there's like any sort of political anything associated with it, I don't want to talk about it.
Generally try to stay away from political stuff on this channel, but
Yeah.
that doesn't always happen.
I drag us into political discussion fairly often, unfortunately. I'm trying to, I'm trying to own up to my mistakes, not point out that everybody else does it too. Anyway, yeah, I live in Utah, relatively close to Arizona. Given the state of the amount of water that has come to the western United States.
Hold on.
Recently,
I gave us a very good out of saying that I'm not qualified to talk about this.
I just said that I'm not surprised. I was just going to say I'm not surprised if there is a water crisis.
Okay. Let's move on.
Okay.
That's a dangerous topic that I don't think we should get into. So that's all I'm kidding. I gave you a good out, Drew, and you just walked right into it. Sorry. I often do things.
They asked a question, and I'm slightly more qualified to talk on it than you are, so
We just made a whole deal about not doing it. We try not to do that on this channel, but since you asked, let's talk about it.
Hey, I very clearly did not go political.
You did.
Not this time.
I think this walk away from it. Odd trivia. Until modern times, most sailors couldn't swim, making walking the plank a much more deadly punishment. Also, no reason not to wear heavy armor if you drown anyways. Why the conquistadors wore steel breastplates? I appreciate the sketch. Thank you. Yeah, no problem. I'm going to try to make this a little... I'm going to do a real quick... it's got a covering, it's got the tunic, and then we'll give it some scale arms here. And then I'm going to give him a big old poofy bear throw. I really want to get political and talk about stuff, but I'm trying hard not to. Trying real hard not to. Not about stuff today, but like just in general. I'm trying to distract myself from the news.
I am super proud of myself for the last week having not interacted with political stuff at all.
Some fun stuff's going on, so yeah.
I know. And it would be pretty shitty if I started to gloat about it.
Right? But you want to.
Oh, so much.
2 or 3 years of just constant stress, and then yes, vindication. But nothing yet. Nothing worth talking about. So we're gonna talk about bugbears. I really like your rhino dinosaur.
Thanks. I'm pulling from the Pathfinder Green Dragon, which is chunkier, I think, than the 5e one, and has that big old rhino horn.
Has anyone not seen the Dragon Ball Z movie? Oh my god, Dungeons and Dragons movie. I was gonna say D&D, but I said DBZ instead. Oh yeah, those are good Viking pictures.
Spoiler alert, then?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So I have a spoiler that I want to talk about. So if people want to bounce out for 30 seconds, go for it. I love that, but this is it. 5, 4, spoilers in 3, 2, 1. I love their chunky dragon. Their chunky dragon was, at first I was like, what the crap? And then I loved it. It's great. The movie is super campy and silly, and fat chunky dragon just made my day. I do think I had a moment of realizing I can't let this movie take itself too seriously.
Mm-hmm.
I can't watch this movie thinking this is going to be the perfect D&D whatever. It's just this is a stupid movie. This movie was made just to have fun and be silly, and it was. And when I started thinking like that, I really enjoyed it. How do commissions work with your Patreon? So with the Patreon page, there's 2 ways it goes about. Once a month, we usually do a Patreon only stream where we just have a list and I draw stuff, and it's just like this, but only for patrons. And then also there are the larger tiers where you sign up for it, and then you essentially get a free Patreon only slot. So I will take care of that one first at the beginning of the month, and then if I get any more commissions, they get backburner behind it. So the buying a slot from the Patreon essentially cuts you to make sure you have a set. Right now, I don't have any lined up. I have 2 little projects I'm working on, but if you have a commission for the Patreons, it'll basically start it probably on Monday. It's not a problem right now. But when I do get full up on time, the Patreon ones take priority. And then with Patreon, it's just that one's reoccurring every month. So you pay it once, we do it. You can cancel your subscription or lower your subscription to the Patreon members, or you can keep going with it. It's up to you guys. So that's how that works. Otherwise, you can just contact me in Discord, and I do commissions through Discord. And then, like all my other commission work and stuff like that gets shared with all of the Patreon members and the Discord and stuff. So I use those as, I think the last one I did, I think I'm gonna make a video out of it. So I've done that a few times. There's been a handful of commissions that I like really, really loved, and just like, oh, it could be a really cool idea for a video. I've drawn a bugbear in a while, though. They're fun to draw. I like bugbears. Thimberclad, yeah. Thimberclad? Ashbourne? Ashbourne did a video on it. Okay, there's a very good reason for him being obese. I just thought he was funny. He's probably got a lot of lore on it. I want to be able to official D&D book. It would be cool to be able... Would it be cool to be able, in an official D&D book, to have mixed races for every combination and even percentage be great? Percentages be great?
That would be cool, but D&D won't do it, but Pathfinder does.
Yeah. John Miller, no requests, just go out for coffee after the stream on me. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. I will take that, and we'll do some relaxing tonight. Yeah. That sounds like a good plan. I appreciate
that. Anyway, so what I think that the thing that you read was saying was basically, what if half elf could also be like anything? What if anybody could be half anything? And second edition Pathfinder has basically a
template system.
It's like not a race. Instead of like races, it calls it heritages, and basically you can a bunch of things are specifically only a mixed heritage, like the Genasi would be an example. So you can take any base, and put a elemental template onto it.
Second edition does a really good job of that. First edition had an ability to just make your own races, so that was really nice because you were just like, oh, I get so many points, and then I'm going to take this from drow, this from dwarves, and then just build whatever you want. So that was fun. That's a nice way to do it too. That came, I think, from 3.5. 3.5 had a fun template system to where it's like, I'm going to be a dwarf, and now I'm undead, and you just slap that on there, and it gives you extra bonuses. The problem with that is it was always additive; it wasn't replacive. I mean, there were some things, like you would replace your vision and stuff, but for the most part, it was always beneficial to have a template. Every time you added a template, it just made you stronger, so you had to be really careful about it. Whereas Pathfinder did a little better job of like, this is how much more powerful it's going to be, so you can balance accordingly, which I liked. I'd rather play Pathfinder, but I don't know the system well enough to run it. Yeah, it's not hard. Like, it can get a little cumbersome initially, just because you kind of don't know where to look for stuff. But once you start going, it's pretty quick. 5e is always going to be more simple and a little smoother, because you can basically just like, fuck it, advantage. Like, like almost everything in 5e, you can just decide to roll advantage with it at work.
But like Pathfinder is it's really great. Like you can learn it as you play, because the only thing you really need to know in order to get started is the 3 action turn order system and the skills.
Why can't we investigate something? Or what was it? Insight check. Well, that's just a DM roll. I argue maybe, period. While I want to be able to mix and match racial traits, I fear the race being diluted down to pick X about the mechanics and paint it whatever. Because at that point, why play D&D? I see what you're saying. Like, if everybody, like the fear with Tasha's is that everybody just min maxes all the time nonstop. So that's like kind of the far end of the cases against that kind of play.
Yeah.
But I think like the way Pathfinder does it is subtle enough because you're just picking features. Like everybody gets to pick a feature, and you're aesthetically picking a character, and then you're mechanically picking a character, and I think that works out pretty well. So you can still have people min maxing really hard, but I think it's a lot better because it's less disparity between characters in the whole on the whole. So like when you pick a drow, you have a lot more racial points, is what Pathfinder called them, than you do if you pick a kobold, which actually has negative points compared to like a human being the baseline. So Tasha's Guide to Min Maxing, exactly, yeah. I like Pathfinder. I'm used to first edition and the math it needs to help me with that there were a bunch of places to put all the info and stuff. Yeah, I like that too. We need your help. Wait, John Miller, we need you in Idaho, please. Save us from the things that the only... What? Save us from that thing you're the only one who can save. John Miller, please. I don't understand. I'm very confused. Mixed races sounds interesting, like imagine an owlbear dragonborn. See, that's 4 races. And also there's the argument between like what's the difference between a cat folk and a tabaxi, right? Like, do you want to play Puss in Boots or do you want to play a Khajiit? Like, those things make such a big difference to me because I feel like all of the humanoid races in fantasy should be humans that have aspects of something. So you like even if you want to be like a human owlbear, like it still has to not just be an owlbear. Otherwise, just play an owlbear. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Now you could be a draconic owlbear, or you could be a draconic owl, or like I don't know, something to that effect. An owl type dragonborn, maybe. But like at some point, everything is everything and everything is nothing. So yeah. All right, let's redraw this halfling. I feel like I've dropped the ball on this crossbow. You know what? We're gonna go ahead and give this guy a little woof of hair. Yep, there we go. That's better. I think the thing was I'm trying to focus on his ear too much. A little. He's got an amulet. It's the only thing that makes him good at crossbowing. My ancestors were bowmen, and I don't know how to do that. That worked out pretty good. Like a big thing with owlbears, because they're monstrous creatures, is their size. Like they're big. So are you getting that I'm big thing? Or like what are you trading out from the Dragonborn? It's all complexities. Baxi has wares if you have coin. Exactly. Min-maxing isn't inherently bad if the DM gives the okay and the papers like it shouldn't be that much of an issue. Yeah, min-maxing is great. Like if you want to play a high fantasy game, it's great. Yeah, Happy Bear Day, owlbear, wear owlbear. Yep, you do all those things. Wear owlbears are great.
If you're gonna like be min-maxing, just make sure it's the type of campaign that can handle it. Yep. That's all. Everybody at the table has to be on the same page. Yeah, that is all it's required.
Min-maxing is only bad if you're basically playing a game by yourself. That's not fun. Just become every race a half elf, half orc, etc. Yeah. at some point, having all of those heritages means nothing. Like that's Brian, how are you doing today, by the way? Do I have to kill it? Excuse me. Jeebus.
Bless you.
I realize now that I've moved my mic, I can't mute it. So I'm gonna have to figure that out.
Yeah. I can't mute my new mic as quickly and easily as I could my old one.
Well, you sound clear, so it's good. So far, it seems like a good mic.
Yeah, it's a trade-off. That's all.
I like the build-in narratives of races given. I can bridge off of something and make my own story, like hobgoblins. If the baseline is military experience, there's so much people I can make. Yeah. Do I have to kill a god to become a god? No, I don't think so.
Depends on your GM and what pantheon they're playing with.
Yeah.
I generally think no.
I like the
unless the old pantheon is like all gatekeepery about that shit. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You have to kill him just to get him out of the way. Don't have to replace him. You just gotta not get killed by them first. Okay, I think I'm done with this guy. I'm not really sure what else to do with him. Half elf, clipped ears, crossbow amulet. Yeah, we're gonna stop there. Let's roll again. Let's roll some dice. Roll the dice. I rolled a 19. I don't think we have 19 left. No, we don't. So I'm gonna re-roll. 3. An Arctic wolf. That's it, really. Just a large and reasonably intimidating wolf. Not even sure it has a class. Okay. That breaks part of the rules. Just a wolf. All right, chat. Give me a class. Give me a class for an Arctic wolf. Otherwise, I'm thinking barbarian. I kind of want to draw the pupper boy from Elden Ring. Rogue. All right. I was gonna do a big sword, but I guess we can do a small sword. Doing okay, just out shopping and getting a box to send a package. Nice. Dire wolves are terrifying. I'm just gonna put that out there.
And also, I guess not actually wolves.
Oh no.
I guess it was discovered recently that genetically they're distinct from wolves, and so but they look basically exactly like wolves. So the design, like the canid design, is a case of convergent evolution.
Interesting. Look at Pathfinder and cringe at the thought that someone is trying to justify their half-elf, half-tree, flesh-warped unicorn, undine, tiefling hamster between two sesame seed bones. Absolute poppycock. I mean, what?
If you play with people who would do that, then you need a new table.
Yeah. Once again, once you have everything, none of it matters.
And also, like, all of the hoops you would have to go through in order to be able to build that legitimately, make it basically not viable for playing.
Could be a level 20. Like, well, let's think about it. If you start as a flesh warper, you get to take one feat that makes you weird. You could say that you were warped unicorn into a unicorn. You have a unicorn one, right? So there's 2 of them at level 1. Done. Flesh warped unicorn man. We're getting there. Then at level 3, you could maybe have the Fey background, so you could get the Undine thing. So that's 3. 3 of those. Then you'd have to wait till level 5 to get the demon background for the tiefling. But we're still missing half elf. We're still missing elf and human for that matter. Because flesh warped is not a human thing. We talked about that on Wednesday.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can do the half tree. I guess that'd be another Fey ancestry. So you couldn't actually do that, I don't think. But the point being, you can get a lot. You can get a lot of weird racial feats.
Yeah.
It's unlike
this is the thing that makes it still like actually viable in game. It's not this is the grab bag. You can have whatever you want. It's everything has a mechanic, or everything is tied to a mechanic. So you can build what you can with the resources provided.
Yeah, but it doesn't give you like, you don't get all the bonuses from all those races. You get the mechanical perks. So you still have to choose something from the beginning that would give you your base, like your base movement, your vision, and your stat bonuses. And then from there, you're taking mechanical things that just are story based. And I think that's a lot more interesting, because then, halfway through the game, you could find out that you do have this Fey lineage, right? Like that could be a story point that your DM gives you. And you're like, what? And it's like, yeah, turns out you got some weird Afridi blood in you, and you burn real hot. It's like, I didn't know. It's great. I love that kind of stuff. I think that the Hex blood works really well with that. Like, that's how I think warlocks should work in general. Like, I don't think anybody should start the game as a warlock. I think it should always be something that's like a later game thing.
It should be like a story feat. First edition Pathfinder had a system of what's called story feats, which was feats that players could not really like take on their own. It had to happen either organically or narratively, or the GM would give it to you. And basically, it was a quest actually. So it was you start this story feat basically, and you get a small benefit. You get like a small bonus while you're doing this quest, and then once like you achieve a larger specified goal, then you get a pretty large bonus. And I really like that, because it's story driven, and also because it's something like extra that a GM can like give the party.
Yeah. Also, if you're playing Kitsune for humans, it's pretty good. Kitsune humans are really fun. I really like playing humans.
Yeah.
Like achievements in video games, like rewards. Exactly. Yeah. It's like, with half orc, half orc makes a lot of sense, because if you decided I have orc blood in me now, right? You don't automatically like sprout tusks or anything. It's just like you're picking something from that race that is emboldening your character, and that's why you can't like decide to just all of a sudden, I'm also a mermaid. It's like, that's not how that works. I don't know how to draw dog legs. I've just discovered. I want to just do this. I want them to just be like really spindly. Just pointy little dog.
I mean, that's not terrible.
I think
they've got an elbow. The elbow should be.
It's really high, right? And then this would be their ankle.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Why can't I draw on? Oh, that's why. Shoulder blade. Humorous elbow.
Did I go too low? Okay, I did go too low.
Right.
I can do that.
Yeah.
And then bring that up here. Okay, yeah, that looks better. Pathfinder heritages are freaking all over the place. They are, but they're not supposed to be pick and choose from the way that we're talking about it. Like, and if you use a good system like Foundry or Path Builder, when you pick the heritages, it usually goes, cool, here are the 5 you can pick from, and then there's a button for like, but if you want, you can pick from these other ones. Like, we're not going to stop you. So really what you're supposed to do is if you pick the Konrasu, there are 6 to 8 feats that by the time you get 20, you're going to have picked 4 of them. So it's just kind of like, which order are you picking them in, and which ones are you not going to get, right? So that's usually how they work. But like if you pick the human feat, you have access to pretty much anything. It's just like, yeah, you can have an ancestry feat from anything, but you usually should probably start picking those then after the fact, right? If you start with the Fey ancestry, there are ones that upgrade the Fey ancestry. So you're not supposed to pick new stuff every time. Wait, why are we drawing Sif? Shh, Cosmic, quiet. Because I don't know of any other way to D&D up a wolf.
This is clearly not Sif. That's a chef's knife, not a sword.
People wanted a rogue, so I gave him a tiny one. I was gonna give him a big old, like, God of War cleaver. But this is now a rogue. Rogue dog.
I rolled a 17.
17. A young curly-haired wood elf paladin warlock multi-class. A young curly-haired wood elf paladin.
Okay.
Paladin warlock.
Wood paladin elf, warlock, paladin curly warlock. Hair.
It uses a wooden sword to enforce their archfey. Enforce the will of the archfey, known as the Dreamer of Peace. His armor has engraved roses and thorns. So a wood elf paladin warlock. Rather stick to 2 heritages at most and try to play a nonsensical mode. Exactly, yeah. Like, if you're just min-maxing looking for all the best stuff for a build, it's like, ugh, why? Just play 2 characters. I just realized, newsflash, I reserved a window seat for a bus ride down years ago. Wait, what? Oh, for going to hell? Okay. Halloween shopping has been weak this year. I decorated my desk in the break room at work, and then I was told I'm a satanic and told I'm going to hell. And I just replied, yes, I got it. Okay. Got a bus ride. Got a ticket. That's funny. That is funny. I don't know why people get so uppity about Halloween, 1. And 2, like, I don't know why people that would think calling someone a Satanist would affect them. Because either A, they know that, or B, they don't care. Like, it's the weirdest.
Because America was founded on...
Go ahead, finish your sentence. Sorry.
Christian extremist beliefs?
Yeah, I guess so. Secularism, people. Weird shit. Alright, anywho. I don't know why that is the biggest. Maybe it's because I was raised hyper Catholic, but like, anytime people are like, this is a Christian nation, it's like, what are you talking about? Get out of here.
What was it? I was watching. Oh, I don't even remember what it was. It might have been a YouTube short. I've been trying not to watch too many of those.
Same. But I say as I make more and more.
I'll watch yours. Yours don't cause me to doom scroll.
That's good to hear.
No. Long story short, the person read 2 things. One was an American account describing the pilgrims who landed on Plymouth Rock as repressed Christians seeking asylum from the English Empire, and the other is the British perspective, which describes the pilgrims who landed on Plymouth Rock as
religious wackos.
as right-wing Christian extremists.
It was founded on religious freedom.
No.
Well, freedom from religion.
The Constitution was written around religious freedom. Or no, the Constitution included religious freedom, but fundamentally America was not actually settled or colonized because of religious freedom.
I thought it was to get away from the Church of England.
Yeah, but there are plenty of places in Europe you could go to get away from the Church of England. It was to get away from all of basically long established Christianity, which, I mean,
I feel like that's the same thing. Is that not the same thing?
Tomato, tomato.
All right. Didn't stop me from buying and hanging plastic chains and skulls with glowing ghosts. That's pretty great. I was raised hyper Catholic, like I said, and oh man, Halloween every year, like celebrated it at the church. I don't know what. I don't know what people have with a problem. Everything can be washed away. I don't know why people freak out. Consider myself a show pig. Perhaps the assumption is that everyone is raised under the same morals. Seeing someone else stray from their faith convinces them to berate them. Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think that is the case, and I just don't understand why people have a need to do that. Is it true that America was founded on Judeo-Christian values? It is true. I don't know if that is true. We just have those values as divorced from the original. So most people forget that fact. Just look at places that don't have that history. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm not a history buff. Period. I just am not. So I have people in my life that I can ask these questions about, and they know it, and that's as good as I need. But I don't have those people here now. So there is our little rogue wolf. I'm gonna give him tail. I don't know what else to do. I want to give him a bracelet. There we go. Bracelet. My point being that I was trying to make, which maybe we lost the thing of.
Oh, probably.
Don't let people do whatever the hell they're doing, as long as it's not affecting you in any way. And if something is affecting you by I can see it, grow up.
It's not really affecting you.
Yeah.
Yeah. If something is materially affecting you, interfering with your actual physical rights, then you've got a legitimate complaint. If your complaint is that person refuses to be the same as me,
then you're affecting them and you're in the wrong.
Yeah. And you're the aggressor.
Be kind to people. Be kind to people. Let them be weird. Then if they turn their music up too loud, then you can ask them to turn it down. That's fine.
Yeah.
Shocking, I didn't go orange this year. Can't say that I brought one jack-o'-lantern. Oh, no. Are you all right,
Wait,
Bri?
Bri, you didn't go orange? Are you okay?
Yeah. Do we need to call somebody? Have you been to the doctor recently? When was the last time you had a Pepsi? Let's double check. All right, there we go. That's the wolf boy. I think that was Oliver's, but I could be wrong about that.
About a minute ago. So okay, so it's not the Pepsi.
Okay, yeah, I'll figure something out. Maybe they changed the Pepsi formula again or something. Yeah, Bean Bender, that sounds an awful lot like fan art. I don't think I'll do that. Plus, I don't want to draw people shooting people with scatter guns. was raised as Pentecostal, okay. Then Methodist, then Baptist, later discovered spirituality. Shamanism saw similarities with Christ's world. Yeah, Christ's words. It's weird. Religion is weird. I kind of have the same kind of experience myself where I bounced around when I was old enough to just kind of try to make my own decisions. And it's weird. It's easy to, I think, be kind to people, and sometimes it's very hard. There are people that just don't make it easy to not be assholes too. But that's the challenge for me. It has nothing to do with the religion or morals. It's just like, can I be a good person? And I'm gonna do my best. 15. Albino tiefling shadow monk street boxer with dark hair and ram horns. Cocktail expression. I don't know what a cocktail expression is. Tiefling street boxer. Society has shown us that not believing the same thing is a cardinal sin. Yeah, that's why I don't buy into that. A lot of our social norms are a little honky. I'm not going to say I can't. Is the stream still going? I can't seem to stop the poll.
I think so. I see everything I just drew.
Maybe my pen is just being stupid. 1 second. Society doing something is not a good excuse to not be kind to people. Societal norms is not a good excuse to not be kind to people.
Because that's the way it's been for a while is not a good excuse, and neither is because that's what everybody wants to do.
Is Pepsi the problem? I don't think I want to be a Dr. Pepper or a Coke person. I mean, maybe they switched it. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's why you didn't buy any pumpkins. Have you checked? Have you checked your Pepsi cans for tampering? For your health? Is stream going? I mean, yes, I think so. Did it stop?
I think it's still going for me.
So the chat just crapped out. The poll just exploded. I'm pretty sure it was red. So we'll try again. Yeah, it seems like it's working. That was really weird. Went weird with the message I sent earlier. Okay, yeah. Something strange might have happened. Albino boxer tiefling. Here we go. You know what this means? It means I'm going to try to draw abs again. I'm going to draw them abs, dang it. I think I'm getting a little too existential. So I will pass. Pass on. We should try to find something else to talk about. But be kind to each other. Halloween's awesome, regardless of whether you celebrate it as Saints Day or a pagan holiday, or you just want to eat some candy. Go enjoy Halloween. There's no reason not to. If someone else celebrates it different than you are, maybe ask them if you can join them. See what it's about to them. That can be a lot of fun. Or terrifying. It died for a while. Okay. For me, audio didn't die, but the chat message screwed up. Okay, that's kind of what I was experiencing. Cocky expression. Gotcha. That makes a lot more sense than cocktail. The Baldur's Gate tieflings. I really like the art that they've done with the Baldur's Gate game. It's cool to see kind of non D&D artists work on something. Like the Dragonborn look really cool, but the tieflings are like almost spiny, like kind of pokey, and I kind of dig it.
I am having fun hearing about all of the weird sort of glitches that are happening for people.
Oh, we had a great one yesterday. Lars's character just T-posed and continued going through the animation. So his character was just like flying through the air, like doing somersaults and stuff without moving. It was pretty great. This is the first time that's happened since I got the game this time. But
Cool. Apparently, Jacob and Julia from Drawfee are playing, and they are playing with nudity allowed.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently they're running into a glitch constantly where every time they go into camp, the all of the clothes textures get like glitch out, remove automatically. So
I don't know if that's a glitch.
They can't wear clothes when inside a camp.
That's funny. Yeah, I didn't realize this either.
You know,
you have two sets of clothing. You have like cutscene and camp clothes. So like you not in your armor, and then you have you in your armor, and there's a bunch of different settings you can change so that like you can only see like I want to see this set of armor or whatever when I'm in the cutscenes, and I want to see this when I'm in the camp, and like you can adjust when you see them. And I didn't know that. I just sold all my shit because I'm like, none of this has stats. I don't want it. And so I got rid of it. And then as soon as we went into camp, it automatically switches to that camp mode. And so my character's just butt naked. And I was like, dang it. It's not what I wanted. So now I'm stuck every time we go to do a long rest. My character's just got their bits hanging out. Maybe the devs forgot to turn off that feature. Is it a glitch or a feature? Yeah, exactly. But,
I mean, if I was playing it, it would be a feature.
Yep, might as well. Yeah, so you can now have your armor and show your clothes instead, which could be no clothes. So you can be fully decked out and just be running around in the buff. It's pretty funny.
Interesting.
Have you seen the owlbear body slam that instantly kills a golem? No, I haven't seen that yet. I've not seen that yet. I did fight an owlbear. That was terrifying. What are you struggling with?
Hands. Once again, I went too far with the drawing before I thought about arms and hands. Also, I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to indicate that it's a wooden sword specifically. I guess I'm going to color it. I don't think I like any of this.
I mean, you could
anyway.
do wood texture.
Yeah.
We have an owlbear body slam. Look at this.
He wants to smack with his anger.
Yeah, apparently. So, like, we got an achievement for killing him just outright. I don't know if you noticed that.
Oh, you can druid shape into an owlbear? That's awesome. Spoilers.
Okay.
Pounce. Okay. Pounce is messed up.
Okay. Wait, does it scale with how far you fall?
The top robes.
Wait, how much damage did you just do?
890.
That's pretty great. That's pretty great. That's a massive owlbear. Owlbear pounce. I'm still in like Act 1. I just don't play the game enough. There are people that are like owning the shit out of this game and getting super far. Not me. I'm still back at the beginning. I got distracted by wanting to draw abs, and I've drawn a really bad character. So I'm gonna start over. What did I just delete? Yeah, what the hell? That was weird. I have the same people who clutch their pearls when seeing nudity in anime are okay with nudity. I bet they're not the same people. If they are, yeah, who knows? That would be my assumption. They're probably. I'm betting the people that have problems with nudity also have problems with it in Baldur's Gate. Man, oh man. What's a good pose? I need to do more gesture drawings.
Yeah, I'm feeling that right now too.
Just get loose. Just get loose with it. Find some lines. Find some lines. Is that with missile drop kick from the heavens? Boxer stands for tiefling. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Whenever you can shove things off the edge just to move. Yeah, that's something that my friends and I have been having a lot of fun with. Just like, it sucks because you don't get the treasure, but it's like, yes, we did it. It becomes its own little mini game. That's another one of the like I said, the perks of the video game versus like shove as a free action for some reason. It's just like, sure.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
Wow.
It might be a bonus action, but like you feel like you can do it all the time. Run up, attack, shove. Run up, attack, shove. Run up, attack, shove. Okay, this is supposed to be a tiefling, so I want to make sure I get. Make sure I get the horns in here. They made shove a bonus action. Yeah, okay. Would a boxing guild and D&D ban bugbears due to their reach? Probably not. They just probably have their own weight class. Shove as a free action should be a thing for Martians. I think it is as a bonus action. It's pretty good. Kind of wondering if people want to do a Baldur's Gate stream. I mean, it feels kind of late now, but at the same time, like, I'm sure we could find something fun to do with it. Bad monks are bad at shoving. That's weird. Oh, because they don't have, like, shouldn't they have bonuses to athletics? I feel like they should. Let me see. I might have a package. Nope. I love it when Amazon sends me a letter of like, this is still going to show up today. We promise. It's like, all right, I don't believe you, but.
Oh yeah, Rook, your pose is much better. The abs are too.
Thank you. I think the abs are worse, but the pose is I'm liking more, so that's good. It's good. Because like the abs should really be starting way up here.
Yeah.
What kind of clothes would a brawler wear? Normally, I would just do like chest wraps. I don't know what I should put. Sorry, there's no music today. I've contacted the customer support about my music player breaking. Like, the hell's going on? They're like, oh, we should get some people to look at that. It's like, yes, do that. And they've just never gotten back to me. So.
Been down for days. Why haven't you done that yet?
Eldritch Blast plus Repelling Blast, or whatever it's called. That could be fun, yes. Ooh, bonking people off. Thunderwave is great. If your goal is to play a martial artist master focused on grappling and manipulating your opponents, play an unarmed battle master fighter, not a monk. Interesting. I could see that. Yeah, the grapple monk in 5e doesn't work the same as it did in Pathfinder. But Stunning Fist is also way better in Pathfinder. To the point of being a little bit broken. I don't know why my character sucks. The only thing you do is Stunning Fist. Yeah, that should be great. Like, not if you just keep trying to stun the boss. Like, the boss is going to be really good at that. My character's useless. Like, do anything else. Literally try anything else besides Stunning Fist. You might have a better time. Just want to stun people.
It was not my reaction when you were fighting my spider and said, "Well, I literally can't do anything."
Yeah, that was bad. I did the math wrong, so I was a little wrong. But
Okay.
if I didn't hit with the first attack, I couldn't hit it because of the new. Well, I guess if I rolled a nat 20, I could still hit it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like me. My MO of attacking is useless, so I gotta figure something else out. Literally nothing I could do with that.
I knew it was going to be a tough fight, but when you said that, I think I actually pulled a surprise Pikachu face.
Yep.
I was like, oh shit, no, that wasn't supposed to be this hard. It worked out.
It worked out, yeah, it worked out. I still think you're throwing really high level stuff at us for what level we are, but I'm not sure. I've not yet figured out the balance for Pathfinder.
Yeah.
Things, I really like the crit system, but it makes the balancing of things very, very sensitive.
Yeah, it does. And I think that part of the problem there is definitely my fault because I'm a little bit used to first edition Pathfinder and 5e where the CR system tends to be a little bit underwhelming. So for most of my tables, I end up having to do things 1 or 2 CR levels higher than the party.
Right. Yeah. With Pathfinder, I think something that is your party's level is pretty tough, and then they want you to balance it out. I think Pathfinder is based around less single target fights and more dynamic combats.
Yeah, I think so as well. But the second edition Pathfinder's level system, up until we reached about level, you guys are level 8 right now, right?
Something like that, yeah, I think.
Up until we reached level 7, it felt to me like the stuff that was your guys' level, you were bodying, just like it was basically no challenge.
Fighter rogue, female dwarf with purple gemstones in her beard. Is that your suggestion for the week? I'll put that on the list if you like. All right.
Anyway, it does seem that now that we're at higher, like we're on the cusp of being high level gameplay, it seems like either I'm just finding the monsters that kind of break the mold, or we're at a point where the monster difficulty is ramping up, and you guys are supposed to be having much better gear.
Could be, yeah, we could be behind on gear. Let's see what we got here. The issue with the monks needs that their high stats to work well, their dex and wisdom AC usually attacks con. Yeah, they need a lot of stats, which is unfortunate. But the problem is they need a lot of stats, and then they become like it amplifies itself, right? So like they either don't have enough stats and they feel underwhelming, or you give them enough stats and then they're overpowered. So like I think the monk is really supposed to kind of focus on a few different aspects. You can be really tanky, but that also makes you more damagey, which is weird. And you can like buff your wisdom so you have more key points. But if you do that, you need the strength to make your wisdom work really well. Otherwise, you're just spamming lots of stunning fists. I think a lot of people really what they should be doing is being okay with having less stunning fists and being really good. Monks are tough. Even though the Fool's Tour force the conditions as a shortcut to avoid the lower stats, they'll be fine. You could definitely make the monk just a single stat user. Because I mean, like you could go full strength on a monk and be fine if you wanted to use your like a bow staff or your fists, but then people are like, oh, my armor sucks. And it's like that's fine. You don't have to be super tanky and a high damage dealer. Like pick one or the other. But because all people have to do is stack dexterity, it's kind of the same thing with barbarians. But I think people are less worried about it because the barbarians have so much health.
Yeah,
and so that's kind of the weird trade-off that the monk is missing. And maybe monks should have more health. Or a way to mitigate damage. I could definitely see something like the the rage damage negation for monks. That'd be kind of cool. Just like Iron Will or Iron Stomach or something where you can just choose a type of damage to take less damage from. That'd be pretty neat.
Flawless abs.
Yeah. It's like you just take less damage from bludgeoning, period. Like it's not turned on or off, but you only pick one. I think that'd be a fun feature. This person was supposed to be albino. I don't know how to draw that.
I mean, that's going to be pretty much impossible to show with just line art.
Yeah.
Guess you could give them hot pink eyes.
That's true. Maybe monk specialization in poison gets resistance to poison damage? I think rogues do if you do that. I'm not sure. Why would a monk do a poison build? Unless you wanted to do like a ninja or something. To which I say, bring back the ninja. From Pathfinder. The ninja is super fun. The Pathfinder ninja is 100% just like anime ninja. It's a hoot. You're like sticking the walls, turning invisible, making shadow clones. Oh, it's fun. It's fun.
It really is a Naruto ninja. It is a lot of fun to throw that many shuriken.
Oh yeah, flurry of stars. It's a hoot. Let's see, attack, bonus action, 2 stars, and then 3 stars. So I think 5. 5 to 7, I think, is the most stars I've thrown in. All of which get your sneak attack damage.
Yep.
Oh boy.
First edition Pathfinder, rogues get to roll a lot of dice. And ninjas get to roll like 3 times more.
Shuriken does a D2 damage. I'm gonna hop off. See you later. No problem, Odd. We'll see you later. Rather large chest for a male tiefling. I don't think it was specified. I always draw lady tieflings. Lady tieflings are best tieflings. And also, how presumptuous of you. What have I done here? I think this head needs to be lower. Same issue with bards, though they're at least get a lot of useful utility tools. They can specialize a bit more. The College of Creation bard can effectively have infinite resurrection spells, for example. How does that work? How do you get infinite resurrection spells?
Look, anybody who has resurrection spells has infinite resurrection if you play long enough.
Go on. What do you mean by that?
Well, like, if you play for infinite days and you take resurrection as a spell every day.
Oh, you can just have it. You don't mean like...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're not creating a market of resurrections, though. I guess you could be. I guess those mean the same thing. I get what you're saying. I get it now. You have the potential of any amount of resurrections you need because you can just...
Yeah. Exactly. If I can cast resurrection so many times a day...
I really like the ritual system. I think the ritual system
I do too.
makes a lot of sense. And it kind of fixes some of those problems because it's just like hours of time required instead of just like, oh, I have a spell slot, I win. It's like, okay. And I think the reason we had some weird shenanigans with it is because if a spell and a ritual has requires more people, that is the challenge. That's the challenge.
Yeah.
Is that it requires more people than normal. Clones and all. It's all. I think clones is a good alternative for the lich. There's a lot of really cool spells like Magic Jar and stuff that is a great way to not be a lich and just live forever. College of Creation Bard can make an item, usually restricted to by gold point price. Okay. Once they get high enough levels, they can do it any item regardless of cost. Use the feature to make resurrection spell materials. Interesting.
Oh, so that's not just infinite resurrection; it's infinite free resurrection.
If they're using their class feature. Yeah, I think that's the same though. Like,
yeah,
I think that's fine because you're using the resources of creating those materials, because I think has a cost, like a limiting factor, right? You can't make infinite amounts of stuff. So I think that's not too bad. Because like, yeah, once you get level 15 or so, like you're essentially a demigod anyways. So who cares? I can make infinite golems. It's like, oh. Now I've become Doctor Doom.
Come and live in my new country.
Where does he live?
Monrovia? No.
That might sound right though.
It's some bullshit made up like North Eastern European.
It's like Doomvania or some crap, but it's not. Latveria? Maybe.
Latveria, that sounds correct.
Isn't that a real place now?
Latvia is a real
Latvia,
place.
Okay.
I couldn't point it out to you on a map.
When people say goat horns, they mean curly goat horn, right? I think otherwise they just have the little straight back horns.
Yeah, I think so.
I just created a variant human monk, strength 14, 16, 12, 10, 8, 15, 10 hit points, soldier background looks good. Yeah, that should be good, pretty good. I used to remember playing old like Baldur's Gate games where you had to roll for your stats. And so what you would do is you would go and you'd start like reroll, 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 and you would just keep doing that until it gave you all 18s. But there was always that chance that you were clicking the button so much that like you'd hit 18, 18, 18, and just click the button again on accident. You're like, no,
Move right past it. Yeah.
Like, ah. You just have to keep spamming the button for another 10 minutes. If it's in the game, it's not broken. Just skill farming. Glad I started this one over. I think this is much better than the first attempt. I do apologize if you did want a masculine tiefling. Drawing
If you want
ladies
a
is fun.
specific gender, you gotta state it.
Drawing ladies is fun. I spent the first like 10 years of my life not drawing women because people would make fun of you. And so it's like, I'm gonna draw whatever I want to draw. And now it's just a lot of sexy ladies. Gotta catch up. Gotta make up for lost time. I still draw a lot of beefy boys, though.
Yeah, I still have kind of a hard time drawing sexy ladies because I was shamed isn't quite the right word for it. I was very heavily discouraged from doing anything that might be perceived as treating or seeing a woman as or objectifying a woman. But I agree with you, drawing sexy ladies is fun. Are you still there, Rook? Or
Yeah, sorry. I was doing detail work. I got distracted.
Okay. Nope, you're good.
Choose the Sentinel as a feat. Oh, yeah, Sentinel feat is great. I took Polearm Master for one of my characters in the Baldur's Gate. Polearm Master is so much fun. Just like, you get to do your attack of opportunity when someone walks up to you. It's like, no, stop it.
Yeah.
Hack them in the face.
I have reached. You're walking through my threatened space. Wham.
That plus Sentinel is just stupid.
Yep.
Stupid powerful. Yep. I do like that there are caveats on the Sentinel feat for like only one person can do this. You can't proc Sentinel off of people with Sentinel. It's like, glad you're keeping on top of that. All right, I'm done with this. I think it's time to move on. Next one. I feel like tieflings always need a little bit of tattoos or something. Just skin should look weird. Skin should look weird. That's all I'm saying. Warforged Clockwork Soul, Sorcerer the Sorcerer the Warforged. Am I having a stroke? Warforged Clockwork Soul.
Sounds like it.
Calm. It's a Warforged Clockwork Soul. Great. Sorcerer. Warforged Clockwork Soul Sorcerer. I'm gonna go with that. Okay. Clockwork Soul Sorcerer. Is that a thing? Is that a thing that I don't know about? The Warforged escaped from the Tyrant by hiding with Modrons during the Modron March. Oh no. Was repaired by Primus? And it reached Mechas.
You just got so tired.
I did. I just hate Modron so much. Alright. What if we took all the things about steampunk that I hate and mashed it into a tiny creature? Okay. What is a Clockwork Soul Sorcerer? I need help. I need definition. One of my favorite characters is a Centaur Paladin with a Polearm Master as Sentinel. He was made to go through the Tomb of Horrors and did. So almost unscathed. Nice. I'm surprised he made it through that because, ladders exist, but...
What's this? Stairs. My one weakness. No.
Just like a small step. No. What am I supposed to do? I don't know if people there's a lot of, I don't know if it's cows or pigs. I think it's pigs. Pigs don't like going down steps.
Oh yeah, because they're very front heavy.
Yeah. They go ass over tea kettle real fast. I do need purple. There's a purple one. I should play a Modron one of these days and just get it out of my system. You know?
Are they playable?
I mean, for me, I can do whatever I want.
Okay, sorry, right. Sorry. Forgot who I was talking to for a second. There is no officially produced Modron player race.
No,
Though, correct?
I give them so much shit because I just hate the way they look. I should really probably just actually give them a chance.
I mean, you just gotta redraw them.
Yeah, that's true. I could do that.
I didn't really care for Veggie Pygmy design until I redrew them, and now I'm kind of obsessed with them.
Horseshoes of the Zephyr, huh? Yeah, there's a lot of dungeons that can just be broken by levitation. And that to me is an oversight. Considering how many things in D&D can levitate.
Yeah.
And not even like, oh, I cast a spell. It's just like drow, mind flayers, flumps. Like, maybe it's just Underdark. Maybe dungeons weren't designed for things in the Underdark. Maybe an Underdark dungeon just has a lot of like low-hanging spikes, so you bump into them when you're floating. All surfaces, including liquid like water and lava. Nice. I did it a 2E Planescape. I played a Duodro Wizard. It was wow, sorry. It was broken because it had free will. Oh, interesting. I gotta look up this clockwork. Ooh, that is a super cool design. I like that a lot.
What is it?
It's from the Unearthed Arcana. Let's see if I can find the author. I'll just drop it. Maybe?
You got real quiet on me. I didn't hear any of that.
I'm trying to post this. That's pretty cool. Clockwork sorcerers are A tier. Are they just like artificers? Artificer sorcerers? I don't think I've ever played one of these.
Clockwork. You fought that.
No. The Clockwork sorcerer.
Oh.
Oh, is that the thing? That's the thing of the. That makes sense. Okay.
That's a monster that you guys fought. That was the Clockwork Mage.
Was that inherently from Pathfinder?
I believe so.
Because here I have it for 5e, which would make a lot more sense why all of his stuff was like charisma based. Because they shouldn't have charisma. They have luck mitigation. All right, that's pretty cool.
Interesting.
Just like it just counters gnomes. Or halflings. Was it gnomes or halflings that good luck? I think it's halflings. Or gnomes.
Yeah, because this is the thing I had you fight.
Oh, super weird. This image. Where did I just find this image? It was selling like a D&D 5e thing. That's super weird. There we go. GM Builder. Oh, GM Binder. Soulforge Artificer subclass. That's funny. It's just a Pathfinder artwork. Yep. Clockworks of Nathus. Clockwork Mage.
Who's stealing from who now?
Yeah, seriously. Well, I'm doing it.
Wow, Watsy. Just wow. Oh, but
They roll
you
it.
will also super dig this one.
That's pretty dope. That's got to be a Destiny. There we go. Destiny fan art. That's what that looks like. That's really cool. I love Destiny's artwork. The game is, it's okay. I had a friend that got a job working for them. He worked there for like 6 months. He's like, yeah, I just left. I didn't care anymore. I was like, well, all right. That was just what I thought would be my dream job, but you can do whatever you want. Rules for thee. What does that mean? I always like the monochrome watercolor art from Planescape. I'm a big fan of that too. Just I've always tried to do it, and I never have been happy with my outcome.
Planescape. I'm not familiar with that. I'm gonna have to look it up.
I remember it's almost watercolory. I'm thinking of something else. Waterclopper? Yeah, watercolor. Okay. Yeah, there's something nice about just like flat color washes. That's how I did a lot of my first commission work. I did really cheap sketches for. Tried to just only use 2 colors. The original Pokemon art was also done with watercolors, so I've got a bit of soft stuff that's done. Yeah, I had one of the original game books. What the hell are they called? It wasn't a manual. Strategy guides? Strategy.
Player's guide?
Yeah, player's guide, strategy guide. One of those.
Yeah, strategy guide.
And it was all watercolor. I loved it. I loved it. I busted out my barbecue on Wednesday for the first time this year because it was so hot. Like, yeah, here we go. And I looked at the thermometer and I'm like, okay, we're good. And then I put the chicken in and I came back in 10 minutes and it was just like completely black. I was like, what the hell? And I flicked the thermometer and it went one full rotation forward. So I was like, oh
no.
So what I thought was like 400 degrees was like apparently closer to 900, which I don't think is possible, but maybe. It charcoaled my chicken thighs. It was very sad. Gotta get a new thermometer for that. Amazon, what you doing? Why you not deliver my stuff? They always deliver it during the stream, so I'm a little confused. What can I do to make this hood look a little more interesting? Give it a little more depth, I guess. Give it a little more texturing, maybe. They just made it look like bent copper, which is interesting. And the bottom one is just cloth with some underlighting, which I dig. I like both of those things. Chicken with fire. Yeah, something. Dang, making a 100 by 100 battle map is a lot easier than I thought. 100 by 100 pixels or 100 by 100 squares? Yeah. Well, 100 by 100 is a lot.
Yeah.
I usually do 50 is my maximum. 30 to 50. It's not too terribly big, though, I guess. People can move, what, 6 squares in an action? No, 100's a lot. That's a big map. For Cyberpunk, the ranges of weapons can be quite far. Okay, that's fair. I guess vehicles exist too, so. I've always had that problem with people that want to play, like, have horses and steeds and stuff in D&D. It's just like, we're in a 20-foot square. It's like, okay, summon my mount. It's like, oh, God. I start stamping around the living room, and it's like, not enough space. Your war camel gets upset. Feeling pretty good today, and it's not very hot. I should probably go chop some wood. My chainsaw's supposed to get here, so I'm going to cut down a tree maybe this weekend. I gave up. Let it win. And I sold my gas chainsaw. It was just every time I wanted to cut something, it was like a 20-minute fight trying to get it to start again.
Oh no!
Just like I hate it. I just hate using it, which sucks because like it's a good chainsaw. So I sold it and I bought an electric one. We're gonna see if that's any better today. Everything I read online is like, oh, wait, this is super great, but like, you can only run it for like 45 minutes straight before it runs out of battery. And I'm like, I've never used a chainsaw for that long in my life.
Yeah.
So I think we're good. We'll find out.
Probably okay.
With my luck, I'll be buying a gas-powered chainsaw in 6 months. Who knows? I hope it runs a little smoother. Because I just need to be able to pick it up and use it and put down. You know? Like that's the use of a good tool. So if I can't ever just pick the thing up because I have to, refill it, re-oil it, make sure it's all set up, and then do that all in reverse to put it away. It's just for 5 minutes worth of work. It's more of a hassle than it's worth. There've been a lot of times when I just like bust out a regular saw and just like cut through the whole whole log because it's just faster. It's faster than trying to get the chainsaw out. We'll see. That was my weird old man anecdote for the day. I did the autognome. Can autognomes be modrons? Let's just do that. Let's just say autognomes are modrons.
I don't see why not.
Currently in
As
the
far
game,
as I can tell with modrons, there's no rules, just right.
Sure. Currently in the game, the party has joined a gang of catgirl thieves, and some of them become catgirl thieves themselves. That'll happen if you have a party of catgirls.
Yeah.
If the Catarl have taught me anything, it's that they're very unscrupulous and don't plan ahead. And if you got that reference, I appreciate you. And if you didn't, don't worry about it. Catarl Empire. Alright. The game has gone completely off the rails since then, and I love it. Nice. That's good. That is good. Okay, I'm done with this bad boy. I don't know what else to do with him. It's just a robot in a cloak, which is cool. I like this design a lot. Wizard. Wizard Sparks. Let's do one more at least. It's only 1:30. I'm gonna get a drink real quick. Let's do that. I'm gonna get a drink, and then we'll do one more. Be right back. Maybe we'll be right back. Hey, Burb. Hey, Burb.
I mean, I'm still here, so you better be right back because I don't know how to end the stream without you.
Well, the battery's here. I got one giant battery.
Just the battery?
Yep, just the battery.
Interesting.
Bear Cleric and a Yonti. But we'll see. We shall see. Where the hell did my dice go? Oh, I put them on the table because we were playing Magic. Gonna start rolling a d12 here. A 10. A Loathsworn Bard of Whispers Drow Priestess.
Loathsworn.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Cleric of Loath.
Yeah, no, I mean I got that. I just like don't know what that visually means.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's the Baldur's Gate version. You pick that or Selene. So I guess it's just a regular drow, I would assume.
Yeah.
All right. Also, one probably means
Spider.
more evil, sinisterly. Yeah, probably sharper.
Spider lady.
I might even go a little more weird looking with this one. More spiders in the themes. Yeah, let's do that. I always thought it was kind of funny when I was playing Finny that I wanted their deity to be Grandmother Spider because it feels very like drow adjacent.
Yeah, just not inherently evil.
Yeah. Like I could just pick Loth. Anybody have fun plans for the weekend? D&D games? Office parties?
I'm excited for our game tomorrow.
What are we doing tomorrow? I haven't checked. Are we still fighting?
Yeah, we're looking for Chimney Man in the orphanage.
This face is fucked up. Wah, 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 wah. Can't remember who I took on that. I think it's Constable, or have we not left yet?
Haven't left yet.
Last week was the epitome of over planning. So I guess it was 2 weeks ago, but still.
Kind of.
We're definitely. I feel like we're running into an issue with our party where no one wants to be the one to make the decision about what we're doing.
Yeah, I agree with that, and it's probably at least partially because I, as the GM, like pull the rug out from under you guys so often.
Maybe. We do a lot of waffling and talking, and then no decisions made. I never know if I should just jump in and make a decision for everybody.
Yeah. You kind of do end up jumping in and making a decision a lot, which
Yeah.
I appreciate. And I'm been trying to brainstorm ways to facilitate other people or how to get other people to do it instead, so it's not just you every time.
Yeah, I feel bad because it's like I hope I'm not. I don't want to be stepping on people's toes, but like we're not doing anything. So I always have to balance that out.
Yeah.
I never know how to do it with. And when I'm a DM, I kind of have the same problem too, with other games where it's like, so everyone's just gonna hang out. Like, what are we actually doing? I don't understand.
Yeah.
Just to kick people off.
And I've been afraid to like rush the party since the Frost Drake incident.
Yeah, I don't know if that was. I don't think you should worry about that too much. I think with rushing the party per se, if there's something that you think we need, like cold weather clothes, if you want it to be a puzzle, like if we don't ask the right questions, we don't get a bonus. That's fine, or we get punished. But at the same time, if you think it's something we need, just tell us.
Yeah.
Just don't try to make it a puzzle at all.
I don't try to make it a puzzle, but I also try not to like hold your guys' hands. Because most, like, generally speaking, the stuff like you're gonna fight the quest specifically said like you guys are gonna fight frost drakes in a frozen canyon to the north, and generally speaking, like I thought, okay, so I've given them enough information, they should be able to infer what they're going to need.
Yeah, I assumed we were going to be fighting in a cave. I didn't think about snowshoes being required. Also, I don't think snowshoes are a normal D&D thing to negate difficult terrain, which I suppose they are, but I never really thought about that as an item. So I would not have asked to anything to solve that question, right? I think I would have gone in there blind every time.
Yeah, that was fairly early on. So I think generally speaking, you and Jump Rope and Burning probably weren't super familiar with my GM style. So maybe that bit me in the ass too.
I don't really think we have a problem with that one. There's a lot of bad rolls, a lot of bad luck. I have a DM question for you. I want to bring a dread to my game. I want to bring dread to my game. Should I use H.R. Geiger style body horror like Alien? Only if your players are comfortable with that.
Yeah.
Because a big thing I discover when it comes to horror is there are many types of horror, and you need to find the right kind. Because like I really like Eldritch horror, just like kind of things being too big to really wrap your head around.
Yeah.
I dig
it. it is my general sort of like philosophy that if you want dread, make sure that the threat they're facing is extremely difficult to understand or to gain information on. I very much believe in the Alfred Hitchcock sort of
Don't show 'em,
idea
don't
that fear is caused by the situation, not necessarily by the thing that's killing everybody.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Like, because you can absolutely be afraid of a thing that's for sure going to kill you, but like if you want slow simmer dread, then it's usually more effective in my experience to have the party fighting something and have them never are actually able to figure out what it is they're fighting.
I have a good counterpose for that.
Okay.
Is the chimney man supposed to be scary?
No.
Okay. Did you find my wolf campaign scary?
No.
Okay. Then I don't know what we're talking about.
Was the wolf thing supposed to be particularly frightening?
A thing running around in the darkness that you guys couldn't see. It was supposed to give you characters
Yeah.
the heebie-jeebies.
I mean, I felt kind of trepidatious about it a little bit, but also like I guess the hard thing about D&D or horror in D&D is that there's kind of an understanding usually that your players are gonna like you have enough kit to deal with the thing that goes bump in the night.
So you were saying that like give them things that they can't find out about. And
Yeah.
with the chimney man, I feel like we're running in the dark, and that's making him less scary and more just annoying.
Frustrating?
Yeah, it's just frustrating. It's like, oh, maybe it's this, or this. Like none of that really helps me figure out what the hell we're fighting. So it's all irrelevant. Hello, welcome in. Versus something that like you can tangibly see and try to pick at, and like, do we chase it? Do we run away from it? Like, right? That's the kind of horror that I like, where you are directly interacting with it. That to me is more interesting than like chasing the boogeyman, basically, where you're just never, you're not interacting with them a lot, which is kind of what I thought you were describing. So
right,
I'm not sure.
And yeah, and it is, but I think that setting is also kind of really important for that.
Okay. So then how would you, because that's the thing, like, so let's see. John says, so if you're the player's imagination is greater the fear of the things when they see it. Yeah, and so that's why for me, it's like putting something out there that could be something that they might know, I think is a good way to cause fear, which is why I was like, I had a thing running around in the dark. They're like, well, is it a bat? Is it a werewolf? You know, what is it? Is it a goblin? Is it just a dude? And then you slowly pick that apart until they discover it, which, you know, doesn't take long. But like I want to still give them the option to try to figure out what it is, because that can be kind of scary too. Like, oh yeah, guess what? No, it's a I can't remember what it's called.
It's a barghast.
It's a barghast, and then if they know what a barghast is, it's like shit. Like that's not good. So
don't let it eat anybody.
Don't let it eat anybody. So I don't know. Dread to me is a little weird, especially with like the Geiger stuff is like aliens is suspenseful, but I don't know if it's dreadful. Like, are you getting that? Like being on the ship, I think maybe that's a good way to put it, Drew. It's like it's more about the setting than it is about the creature or the thing you're fighting.
Yeah.
So if
And
you're,
I think
yeah.
D&D generally does not facilitate a horror setting.
That might be because the characters are so powerful, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you just if I can fight it, great. If I can't fight it, that's when it gets spooky. That's kind of where I was getting at. Like, things that
So your wolf fight, where it turned out to be a bar guest, and we were like we couldn't see anything, and we were running around blind in the dark. That I think could have been scary to me if it hadn't been D&D. Basically, if we'd been doing Monster of the Week, I probably would have been a little bit more scared. If we'd been doing Call of Cthulhu, for sure, I would have been scared.
Okay.
Because like Call of Cthulhu, you have built in like you're going to run into stuff, and everything you run into makes you less able to deal with the stuff. And it's not about you beating the monster and saving the day. You're going to die. It's just a matter of when and how, right? So the game setting definitely helps. I'm curious what you, Rook, think is the difference between suspense and dread, like specifically.
Yeah, so like suspense to me is kind of
Because
you're
they're
waiting
fairly
for
synonymous to me.
they're very similar, but like when you're saying H like Geiger, right? So when you're talking about aliens,
Yeah.
um, there's not necessarily a sense of dread throughout the movie. Like the movie seems pretty chill. Like they're on the spaceship seems fine, they're doing the thing, and then they go into the alien spaceship. It's like, ooh, now there's a little bit of a sense of dread. But as soon as you're back on the ship again, you're like, okay, we're safe here, it's fine. But then things get tense. And so suspense to me has like high points of tension, but it's not this like overarching feel of just doom. Whereas something like something more, I guess I feel more of like kind of vampiric Castlevania style. Action can be more dread based, but the theming, I think I said, is kind of the more important thing. Do you want your characters just to feel hopeless, or do you want them to be scared at high points? That's kind of the thing. Like, are you building up to suspense for things to happen, or are you just giving them this constant feel of dour and danger all the time, nonstop, without these like high peaks of tension? So I guess that's kind of the way I look at it.
Okay.
They both have points in both, but if you have like a movie that's more dreadful, I think it's a lot more of just like the overall feel of the movie than its high points and like jump scares. Suspense is a little more jump scary.
Sure.
So either use a vague threat and let them imagine what it is, or use a threat beyond their ability, making them choose other options in combat. Yeah, so I had a friend that we were running through a campaign a long time ago, and we thought he was just trying to mess with us because he kept telling us like, "Oh, you're hearing these sounds of people being tortured and stuff." And you're like, "Oh, that sucks." And we just kept doing what we were doing. Turns out he was trying to get us to go save this person, and we just weren't having it. We were just like, "Nah, we're not dealing with that, whatever that noise is." So, there's definitely a point where like you need to be able to say like, "Hey, these are the things that these sounds are coming closer to you. These sounds are interacting with the player somehow." But you can do a lot. You can do a lot with it. Making darkness feel oppressive is hard to do in D&D because you can see everything on the board all the time. So, if you can do that through storytelling, I think that will give you a really good sense of dread.
Yeah, I agree. I think I've got in first edition Pathfinder, I ran one. I guess it really was ostensibly a dungeon. I ran one dungeon once that I think turned out to be. It had it ran a pretty good horror vibe, and the party was a little bit scared. I managed to work some suspense into it, and I did it specifically by stating that the entire structure was filled with magical darkness. So they had
Just turn off all the drow eyes.
Yeah, well, I mean, none of them were drow, right? So like none of them could see in it if they didn't have light spells. But I also gave them like I, it's important to make sure that your players don't feel helpless,
Yeah.
right?
Yep. I was gonna say
So
something about that
like
here in a second. So
so you absolutely need to have them be able to affect things. So they did have light sources, and I did have those light sources work, but like narratively and mechanically, the light sources, the strength of them were vastly reduced. So the light source could push back the darkness to a certain extent, but basically I had mechanically halved it. So bright light was half. It was 10-foot radius bright light instead of 20. Dim light 20. And I had, I think it was wraiths. Every once in a while, they could have. I'm not going to call it a random encounter, but basically, if the party like dallied for too long in one area, then I would roll to see how many wraiths would come in and attack the party. And that was pretty. I think that added to suspense, especially because in first edition Pathfinder, I'm going to look it up for sure. But the creature that I used did stat damage. So if they spent too long, then like in the tower without making any progress, then they could reliably be attacked, and the wraiths could reduce their strength,
Yeah.
I think. And I also had black pudding, so their like weapons and armor could also
So that
be degraded.
that is something that I also like, but I think you should be really careful with, because I've run things in the past where it's like, oh, anti-magic zones, like that's terrifying. If you're in a fight and your magic turns off, like that makes you not powerful all of a sudden. People get
Yeah.
scared. But like if you're a barbarian, it's like, I don't give a shit. It's like, cool, you're not affected at all. And then you fight things like the jellies that dissolve weapons, and all of a sudden it just shuts off the warrior, and they're not scared, they're just mad. It's like, cool, so I can't do anything. So neat, thanks. All right, so like it's hard to find that balance where you're creating fear and doubt about like how powerful your characters are without just turning them off, right? That can be really tough.
Yeah.
Would suspense be fear of what could be, and dread be a fear of what is? Maybe. I think for me, it's just when I think of suspense movies, I really do think of fighting something directly, right? Like there's a thing that is there, but dread to me, if you want to have a sense of dread for your campaign, it needs to be overarching. It's not about one fight. It's not about an event. It's like, what is the mood of this? Because if you have a suspenseful campaign, like that's good. Every campaign should be suspenseful, but it doesn't necessarily have to be based around fear and horror. And so that's what I was saying with the Chimney Man. Like the Chimney Man is like a children's story that we're trying to fight, right? And that's cool. That's like, I really like the Chimney Man arc, especially like finding the book early on and being like, what is this? This is weird. And then it's slowly becoming a thing. But it's never been like dark and dour for me, right? Like we walked into this sewer and we're like, cool. Oh, there's robots. That's weird. And then it's like, oh, a whole bunch of dead children. That sucks. I never had this moment of like slowly discovering and realizing there's this horror. It's like we're cleaning out a boogeyman from the get-go.
Yes,
we got it.
Yes.
So yeah, none of my characters have ever felt like oppressed by the environment, which I think is very good for suspense, or very good for like for that feeling of dread, for if you want to do suspense. And that comes a lot more with like kind of players realizing that they've come in something. Maybe dread is more of a realization of where you are.
Yeah.
And that's why like going into the wilderness to fight the drakes, we're like, okay, we're gonna sneak into these caves. It's gonna be great. And then it's just like we just walked into a kill box of 3 drakes. That's not what we were expecting. Fuck. Right? Like that's much more downtrodden for my characters. And so like I think that can be applied more purposefully by being overwhelmed a little bit. But like I said, you have to be really careful, because if all of a sudden it's just that like, ha ha ha, you lose because I say so. Like, that's not fun. Like, that never feels fun. So it's tough. It's really tough.
Yeah.
I tried to instill a little bit of dread with my Ashfont campaign using in one of the first episodes. You probably go back and listen to this. The first time the players feel like, hey, we're kind of getting somewhere, this is great, they meet a character who is essentially lost. Like, we get to see what happens if you decide not to participate in the overarching campaign game, because it's a dungeon dive and you have to participate or you die. And to what a lot of people think is like, fuck it, I'm tougher than that, I can do whatever. It's like, no, watch. And so you get to see this guy like wither because he's refusing to play the game. And you see somebody dissolve into goo because they refuse to play the game or they die. And it's just like, oh shit. Like, you see the consequences of your actions, I think, is another good thing. And so that's why body horror can be kind of pushing in that direction. Like I said, hearing someone being tortured or killed because that's a possibility for your characters, that can be very demoralizing, right? That can be scary. Yeah. But your players have to be into that. Like, if they don't want to deal with that kind of shit, like, you need to be aware of that beforehand. You don't want to drag somebody through The Walking Dead if they're not into that kind of movie. So it's dangerous. It's something to think about, but I really think it can be done well. And I hope my players have gotten some of that over the years. I like to have dark games. I like dark campaigns. I like to make them think a little bit. But I also make dumb shit like I turned an NSP song into a campaign. Unicorn Wizard and Ultimate Sandwich. That was like a meme game. They didn't like it that much, but it was fun. So I think they like the more darker stuff. All right, there's my Priest of Saloon, or sorry, of Loth. Try to make her a little more spiky. I haven't GM'd in a long time, so I got a little stage fright. Yeah, no, absolutely. I always have stage fright. I feel like this was supposed to be something else. I kind of got distracted. Let's do one more. I think we do one more here.
I think I'm done.
No problem. She was supposed to be a bard, I think. She's a dancer. Let's just say she's a dancer. A kobold gunslinger with a hat so big it rests on the end of his snout.
I remember that prompt. Did that get rolled last time, or did we just discuss it last time?
We discussed
on
it
Wednesday.
Last time, yeah. It was a suggestion from Wednesday.
Okay.
So it's like, don't all cowboy hats? Did you resuggest that on Monday? Legend? Because there's not that many left that I'm looking at. I don't see a Yonti on this list. So either we did draw it, which I don't think we did.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah. You do have to resuggest them every Monday. I see the barefoot. I do want to point out that I do see that. Suggested 3 or 4 weeks in a row now. Let me see if it's on the community page. Maybe it did get drawn. Oh yeah, you're on T. There we go. Okay, no, it's there. 3 days ago. Oh, did you submit it on Tuesday or Wednesday? No, I'm betting if you submitted it after the live stream started on the stream, I might have missed it. That could have been what happened. Yeah, sorry about that. Double check. The Bearfolk was on there, so I know that one was on there. We actually got through quite a bit of the list this week. Never lucky? Yeah, sorry about that. We'll make sure it's on there next week. I've had good luck for a couple weeks in a row. That's true, yeah. We did get yours like 2 or 3 weeks in a row. That was pretty good. Pretty weird. There's been a few times when Corvus is just like, I'm not going to suggest mine because I got like the last 3 weeks as mine's been picked. It's like, that's fair. You know? The dice god have chosen. I have nothing to say about this. So. I don't know how to draw kobolds anymore, apparently.
You just animated one.
I know, I spent
Playing
like,
a saxophone.
I spent like 6 hours drawing one yesterday, and now my brain's just like, no more. No more kobolds. That's not how hats work. So is commissions. That's true. That is true. Commissions are open. I do really enjoy drawing these for people, so I don't want to make people feel like they have to get commissions. But at the same time, that's my job. So I'm always willing to take them.
Even with how much I draw, I tend to forget how much brain power it takes.
Yeah, there have been days when I tried to do like 3 commissions in a week and my brain just melts. I think I've decided that I do like kobolds with ears. I think kobolds with ears are the funniest. They're little lizard things, but not quite. They're a little funny. Those of you that are wondering, you know what? I'm not even gonna do it that way. Go watch the new short, YouTube short, or go watch the video, the new video that came out week 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. Posture check. Thank you, Elvin here. Appreciate that. Go check that out. Trying to push the channel, trying to get 10K subscribers. We're jumping up there. What was it, 96, 9600, something like that. we're getting there. It's exciting. Pushing that's a little harder. I made all of the otter stickers. They should be here in a week or two. So if you subscribe to the Patreon this month or next month, early next month, you should get like a whole bunch of stickers. That's the bugbear and above, but it's gonna be a pretty big sticker pack in that month. If you don't want to join Patreon, I'll be selling them as a pack, probably for like $10 for 4 stickers. I think is what we're gonna do, something to that effect, and then I can send those out to anybody in the U.S. So if you're not in the U.S., it's probably gonna cost a little extra because I got to send it as a package, bigger package. So we'll see how that goes. Thank you everybody that has been supporting me so far. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, we've been going. I think this guy's gonna be a pretty quick little sketch. It's looking pretty silly. Which usually means it's time for a break. When my brain goes to mush. It starts making silly kobolds. How derp? How derp can we go? That's the question. Apparently pretty derp. I love him. He's great. I think that's probably where we're going to call it, though. Thanks again for hanging out. I'm going to try to get my desk fixed again this weekend. The commission's open now. I've chosen between 2 options. Either a Yonti Malison or a sci-fi fox lady. Yeah, both are good. Both are good. I still have not yet decided if I want to start doing adult commissions. Because if I did, I think I would still do like very tasteful art adult commissions. But also it could be fun. I don't know. Those might be more expensive. I haven't figured that out yet. But we'll figure things out. If you do want to get a commission, let me know. We'll talk it over. And yeah, that's all I have for today. Thanks for hanging out. Let's see if there's anybody that wants to get rated here. Pretzel is now ignoring me. That's cool. The redirects. And who's around? Indestructible Boy's around. Check them out. 5e subclass tier list. Ooh, interesting. All right. Tasteful nudity is better than gratuitous, in my opinion. Agreed. That's kind of my thought. So I appreciate that. And yeah, I think it'll be fun. Thanks again, everybody. Stay happy, stay healthy, keep your desk on the table, and we will see you all next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye.